Hi, my name is Eve Neiger. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm the lead archivist in special collections at Boston Public Library. Here in the archives department, we'll arrange, organize, describe, and preserve archival collections that BPL holds for future researchers. Archivists also really wear many hats. We might build and curate collections, curate exhibits and displays. So I'm here in the archives processing room in the archives department, and I'm working on processing the correspondence from a collection from Alexander Brin, who was the founder, editor, and owner of the Jewish Advocate, which was a Jewish newspaper in Boston, one of the longest running and oldest English language Jewish newspapers in the country. We have a huge collection of material related to the Jewish Advocate, and particularly to Brin's work as editor. A lot of reference files, clippings, and things that he found that he was collecting relevant to stories, I think, that he was writing or working on for the Advocate. Also, we have some correspondence, so letters and other material that people sent to him. Particularly this group of materials came to us in this box in just a loose pile like this. I'm organizing it, putting it in folders chronologically. Eventually, it'll end up in a box like this. So it'll be really easy to go year by year and understand the relationships that Brin had, how he did his work, and how he built the Jewish Advocate as a voice for the Jewish community of Boston. So when we organize correspondence, letters, there are really two main approaches to doing that in archival collections. One is alphabetically, by the name of the person who's writing the letter. That really emphasizes the relationships that people have and the connections. But another approach, and what we're doing here, is organizing the correspondence chronologically, so we can understand someone's lifetime, the life cycle of their work, and the kind of progress they made. In this case, we actually noticed that in this box, the correspondence is already arranged in these kind of little chronological groups. So there'll be like a whole group from the 30s and a whole group from the 40s, which tells me that that's probably how Alexander Brin arranged his correspondence originally. And that's what we call in the archival profession original order. And we really want to preserve that because the way someone organized their own papers tells us a lot about their lives and their creative work and their relationships and their activities. With this collection, not only is chronological order really logical for this person and why we're interested in him, but it also reflects the original order that we found in the collection. So I found a few things while I've been sorting. I don't really read everything I find. I'm really just looking for the dates and doing a quick sort. There's a lot to get through, but a few things have caught my eye. One is this letter from the Commonwealth of Massachusetts Office of the Secretary from July 19th, 1933. And it seems to be a letter of introduction for Alexander Brin ahead of a European trip he was taking. And if we think about that date, July 1933, so that's shortly after Hitler came to power in Germany, and Alexander Brin, being a prominent Jewish editor from the US, maybe needed a letter of introduction. And the person writing the letter notes, "I have put the official seal of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts on the letter because I think people will find that more impressive." So we have here the seal, a paper seal on the letter as well. So I just thought that was interesting, and there must be some story behind that. I wonder what happened on that trip. Another thing I found was this letter on Boston Public Library letterhead from Fanny Goldstein, who was the librarian at the West End branch, and she was also the founder and builder over time of BPL's Judaica collection. Fanny Goldstein is a well-known, groundbreaking Jewish librarian, female librarian, and she founded Jewish Book Week, which is now celebrated as Jewish Book Month. And this letter is to Mr. Brin, the editor of the Jewish Advocate, and at the end she says, "May I at this time take the opportunity of thanking you for your gracious cooperation in helping to promote Jewish Book Week activities through the Jewish Advocate, and for your part in presiding as chairman at the concluding Jewish Book Week program." This is from a well-known BPL librarian whose papers we have here in special collections about Jewish Book Week, which is a program that was founded at the West End branch of the library. So it really talks about all these connections we have across our collections, and also the history of librarianship, of BPL, and the kind of interwoven aspects of BPL with Boston's communities. I'm so grateful to the Associates of Boston Public Library for funding my position and many of the other positions in special collections. Funding not only in supporting the work we do here in special collections, but particularly labor, particularly positions, is really essential to making sure that we can preserve these collections for the people of Boston and for learners and researchers everywhere.